In the far reaches of space, silence stretched like a heavy curtain. Stars shimmered in endless patterns and planets spun in their lonely orbits. Among the quiet darkness, a faint signal pulsed, a call for help. It was weak, almost lost in the cosmic background, but it carried a message of urgency. Back on Earth, in the central command of the Global Defense Network, officers sat around glowing consoles. The room was alive with screens showing star maps, ship movements, and sensor readings. Lieutenant Commander Arik Hale leaned forward, eyes locked on a blinking red light. "Signal detected," he said. His voice cut through the hum of machines. "It's faint, but it's definitely artificial." Captain Leora Vance turned from her command chair. Her calm eyes surveyed the data. "Origin?" "System Z92, remote, outside all known trade routes," Arik replied. He tapped a sequence on his console, and a detailed readout of the star system appeared. "It's not registered with any Galactic Council databases. No civilian presence either. But it's repeating. The distress call is clear. Someone is in trouble." Leora's expression hardened. "And the species?" Arik shook his head. "Unknown. No signature matches anything we have on file." Leora paused. For a moment, the room fell silent. The weight of the decision pressed on her. Humanity had the technology, the skills, and the fleet. But Z902 was distant, and responding meant committing resources far from Earth's immediate safety. "Prepare a briefing for the High Command," she ordered. "We will discuss the response." Hours later, the High Command convened in the main chamber. Hollow projections of the star system hovered above the table. Admiral Kestrel, a veteran of countless missions, stood at the head. "We are faced with an unknown species sending a distress signal," she said. "The question is, do we respond? And if so, how?" A murmur ran through the room. Some officers feared it could be a trap. Others argued that leaving a call for help unanswered went against every principle humanity stood for. Commander Rin, head of the Intelligence Division, spoke next. "The signal is not a trap. Our sensors confirm it's genuine. Whoever sent it is in extreme danger. If we do not respond, they could be destroyed or enslaved before anyone else arrives." Admiral Kestrel nodded. "Then we respond. Activate the fleet." Immediately, the order traveled through communication lines, reaching humanity's most lethal fleet. Ships long hidden from public knowledge activated their engines. Weapon systems came online, and AI-assisted navigation units hummed with life. Each vessel was designed for one purpose: survival and dominance in any hostile environment. The fleet's commander, Admiral Celine Vare, stood on the bridge of the lead warship, Intrepid Dawn. Her crew moved with precise coordination, their eyes scanning star charts and sensor outputs. "All units confirm readiness," she ordered. "Engines online," reported Lieutenant Corrin. "Weapons primed. Stealth modules operational." Celine's gaze was steady. "Good. Our destination, System Z912. This is a rescue mission, but we must prepare for hostiles. Move out." The fleet slipped into faster-than-light travel, disappearing into the void. As they traversed the dark corridors of space, the human crews discussed what awaited them. Some speculated about unknown alien life, while others focused on the potential dangers. But all shared a single truth: humanity did not retreat from the call of those in need. Meanwhile, in System Z92, the aliens who had sent the distress call did not know help was coming. On the planet Iridian, cities glimmered like scattered jewels under the twin suns. Panic had begun to spread. Their own defense fleets were overwhelmed by a mysterious threat. Rogue war machines from a neighboring system had attacked without warning, destroying outposts and scattering fleets. High Commander Vythar, the leader of the Iridian Defense Forces, barked orders at his officers. They expected us to surrender. They underestimated our courage. "Hold your positions." The alien fleet scrambled, but every move they made was calculated yet insufficient. They had never faced humans before. To them, Earth was just a distant blue planet of rumors and legends. Their sensors had detected strange signals before, but none had shown such precision or such potential for intervention. Back in the human fleet, Celine observed the incoming data from distant probes. "Sensors indicate multiple hostile crafts in Z92, she said, but none of them match the technology of the distress signal origin. It appears we are dealing with both the victims and the attackers. Should we engage immediately?" Lieutenant Corrin asked. Celine shook her head. "Not yet. We observe first. Humans are precise, not reckless. We will strike only if necessary." Our priority is to reach the ones calling for help alive. As they approached the system, the fleet reduced speed, entering stealth mode. Each ship's signature was masked, blending into the surrounding stars. Human engineers had perfected this technology, not for hiding, but for protecting lives and avoiding unnecessary confrontation. On Iridian, citizens watched in terror as attacks continued. Buildings crumbled and emergency signals flooded the sky. Families huddled together, praying for a miracle. Among them was a young engineer, Nira, who had tried desperately to coordinate local defenses. "We cannot survive this," she whispered to herself. "Someone, anyone, please help us." The first glimpse of human presence came as a silent shadow across the enemy fleet. Sensors on rogue war machines detected it and interpreted it as a new threat. Panic spread like wildfire. Alien leaders scrambled to issue orders, but their systems were too slow to react. Inside the intrepid Dawn, Celine's voice was calm but firm. "Prepare for observation. We will analyze their defenses and weaknesses. Human intervention is precise, not careless." The crew worked in silence, scanning, mapping, and calculating trajectories. Every movement had a purpose. Every command had a reason. Humanity's lethal fleet was not just powerful, it was intelligent. Suddenly, an unexpected transmission came through. A small, fragmented message from the aliens themselves. "Help! Attacked! Cannot survive." It was short, broken, but unmistakable. Celine nodded. "They are still alive. Then our mission is clear. We save them, and we will ensure their attackers pay the price." As the fleet moved closer to the source of the distress call, stars blurred into streaks of light. The unknown system awaited, filled with danger, hope, and a chance for humanity to demonstrate its strength, courage, and ingenuity. For the first time, the aliens of Z92 would realize that when Earth answers a call for help, no matter how far, no matter how dangerous, humans do not arrive quietly. They arrive prepared, unstoppable, and decisive. And for the humans aboard the intrepid Dawn, every officer and crew member knew the truth. This was not just a rescue mission. This was a statement. Humanity would not bow. Humanity would not falter. Humanity would always respond, no matter the distance, no matter the odds. The stars awaited. The fleet was ready, and the story of Earth's most lethal fleet had only just begun. Far across the system, in the command center of the Iridian fleet, the atmosphere was tense. Alien officers rushed from station to station, their tentacle-like limbs moving with precision and urgency. Holographic screens displayed the devastation. Cities crumbled under bombardment, fleets scattered, and panic reigned among the population. High Commander Vythar paced in front of a massive display. "We are losing control," he hissed. "The attackers are faster, stronger, and smarter than we expected. If we cannot hold them, Iridian will fall." His advisors exchanged worried glances. "Commander, our sensors indicate another presence in the system," one said. "Unknown vessels moving stealthily. Their signature is unlike any species we have encountered." Vythar froze. Stealth. In the middle of a battle? Impossible. Only a species with advanced technology could accomplish that. They had no idea what was coming. Humanity's fleet, invisible to most sensors, moved like a shadow across the void, approaching Z912 with deliberate precision. The aliens' panic clouded their judgment. They assumed this new presence was part of the attackers, another fleet to destroy them. "We must prepare for another assault," Vythar ordered. "Divert all fighters to intercept. No ship will remain idle." Meanwhile, aboard one of the human ships, Lieutenant Corrin observed the alien system through enhanced sensors. "Multiple surface attacks detected," he reported. "Rogue forces are targeting the cities, but the local defense fleet is scrambling to respond. They are disorganized and reactive. This will make rescue operations easier and faster." Admiral Celine Vaere, commanding the lead vessel, studied the holographic map of the system. "Do not underestimate them," she said firmly. "We are here to rescue lives, not destroy cultures. We must act with precision. Observation first, engagement only when necessary." The humans had an advantage the aliens could not yet understand. They were not just powerful, they were adaptive. Every calculation, every movement, every decision considered not only survival but strategy, efficiency, and ethics. Back on Iridian, Vythar's fleet struggled to maintain formation. Communications were cluttered with chaos, and officers shouted over each other. "Enemy reinforcements detected," one reported. No, wait. Impossible, now they are gone. Sensors show nothing. Vythar slammed his clawed hand onto the console. What trickery is this? Are they ghosts? Are they illusions? Unknown to them, humans had entered stealth mode. Each warship emitted a signature that blended with the surrounding stars. Advanced AI masked their movements, making them invisible to standard alien sensors. This was not magic, but science perfected over decades, a hallmark of human ingenuity. On the planet Iridian, citizens tried to escape, carrying what belongings they could. Families huddled in shelters, praying for some miracle. Among them, Nira, the young engineer, organized small rescue squads using drones and vehicles to reach trapped civilians. Her heart pounded as she tried to manage the chaos. "Hold on," she whispered to a group of children. "Help is coming. It has to come." In orbit, the human fleet moved like a ghostly formation. Sensors detected every alien maneuver, predicted attacks before they happened, and calculated rescue strategies with incredible speed. Humans did not panic. They did not falter. Their calm, precise movements were a stark contrast to the chaos below. Suddenly, a rogue alien fighter swerved toward the presumed location of the human fleet. Its weapons activated, targeting a point in space where nothing was visible. "Engaging target," the pilot shouted, but there was nothing to hit. Missiles passed through empty space and the alien fighter's sensors went haywire. "Analysis complete," Lieutenant Corrin said. "Their systems cannot track us. They cannot see the fleet. They are reacting to shadows and predictions." Celine allowed herself a small smile. "Exactly as planned. We observe, we rescue, and we strike only if forced. Patience is our weapon." Back on Iridian, Vythar struggled to issue orders. "Hold formation! Protect the civilians! Intercept the attackers!" But his words were drowned by panic. His officers could not comprehend the invisible threat that hovered over them, nor could they imagine that help was already arriving. The first hint of hope came in the form of a distant energy pulse. It was subtle but unmistakable. Human rescue drones had entered the system. These autonomous units moved quickly, avoiding enemy fire, identifying trapped citizens and marking safe zones. Nira and her small rescue teams watched in disbelief as the drones navigated the chaos. "They are helping us," she whispered, a mixture of awe and relief in her voice. "Someone is here to save us." The aliens were baffled. High Commander Vythar demanded reports. "Who is sending these drones? How are they avoiding our attacks?" "Unknown, Commander," an officer replied. "Sensors cannot track the source. Their technology is unlike anything we have seen." Vythar's frustration grew. "Impossible. No species can move through our system undetected and provide aid at this scale. We will not survive this." At the same time, human ships maintained a careful distance. They observed the attackers and the local defense fleet, calculating every possible outcome. The priority remained clear: rescue the endangered citizens while minimizing conflict. One by one, human drones began evacuating small groups of civilians. They carried families in protective pods, navigating the rubble-strewn landscapes with precision. Nira coordinated with the drones, guiding them through streets and crumbled tunnels. "Follow the markers," she shouted. "Move to safety." In orbit, Celine watched it all unfold. Every life we save strengthens our message. Humans are here to help, but we will not allow unnecessary harm. The galaxy must see that we act with intelligence, not recklessness. Vythar's frustration turned into desperation. "Intercept the drones! Destroy them!" he yelled, but his forces were too slow. The humans anticipated every move, positioning themselves in ways the aliens could not predict. Every attempt to attack was neutralized before it could succeed. By the end of the day, hundreds of civilians were rescued. Alien attackers were disoriented, unable to anticipate the humans' precision. Even Vythar had begun to realize that he faced a species far beyond his understanding. Celine spoke to her crew, her voice calm but resolute. "Today we made a difference. Tomorrow we continue. Our mission is not complete until every life in this system is safe. And if the attackers persist, they will see why humanity is feared across the stars." As the human fleet held position, the aliens watched in confusion, fear, and a growing respect. The Iridian citizens, who had once believed themselves alone and helpless, now whispered about the mysterious rescuers. Who were they? How could they move with such speed, such intelligence, such purpose? One thing was clear: Earth had arrived in Z92, and the galaxy was about to learn that when humans respond to a distress call, they do not just save lives, they reshape the battlefield and change the course of history. The alien system Z92 had never known such quiet terror. From the twin suns of Iridian to the outer orbital platforms, a feeling of unease gripped every living being. Then suddenly that quiet terror changed. High above the planet the human fleet appeared, not with fanfare but as an overwhelming shadow moving across space. Even from a distance, their ships were unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. Sleek warships bristling with unseen energy arrays glided in perfect formation. Smaller support vessels zipped between them, carrying aid and supplies. Humans had arrived. On the planet's surface, Nira and her rescue teams looked up as sensors picked up an unusual gravitational anomaly. "What is that?" she whispered. Her voice trembled, a mix of hope and disbelief. Citizens pointed to the sky, gasping. No one had ever seen ships move with such silent precision. In the orbital command center, Vithar's eyes widened in shock. "Impossible," he muttered. "They are huge and organized. Every ship, every movement, coordinated perfectly." "Commander," an officer stammered, "their fleet, it is not attacking us." Yet Vithar shook his head in disbelief. "Then what is this? Are they a new enemy? Or saviors?" The humans' fleet commander, Admiral Celine Vare, watched the entire system through advanced sensors. "We are visible now," she said calmly to her bridge crew. "Prepare for communication with local authorities. Our presence must be clear. We come to help, but any aggression will be met decisively." A human communication vessel projected a clear, universal transmission across the system. "Citizens of Z92, we are here in response to your distress signal. Our mission is rescue and protection. Any hostile action will be met with full force. Cooperation ensures safety." The alien response was chaotic. Some ships halted, unsure whether to trust the message. Others interpreted the words as a threat and prepared to attack. High Commander Vithar's frustration boiled over. "Do they mock us?" he shouted. "They speak of protection, yet they dominate our skies with superior numbers. How can a species this advanced choose words over weapons?" On the surface, citizens began to understand. The strange ships hovering above were not attacking indiscriminately. Rescue drones and pods began descending, guided by advanced AI. They landed near collapsed buildings and dangerous zones, quickly extracting civilians with protective shields and precision lifts. Nira's eyes filled with tears as she watched families, children, and the elderly being whisked to safety with astonishing speed. "They're real," she whispered. "They're actually saving us." Vithar's fleet moved cautiously, still struggling to process the humans' arrival. Any misstep could trigger retaliation, yet they felt powerless against a species that appeared everywhere at once and nowhere at all. Admiral Celine addressed her crew. "Observe but remain ready. Rescue is our priority. The locals must survive intact. We will neutralize threats only if they endanger lives. Humans fight with intelligence first, force second. Remember this." Suddenly, a rogue alien war machine, thinking it could strike first, advanced toward a human rescue pod. Its energy weapons glowed red as it fired. The humans responded not with destruction but precision countermeasures. Energy shields activated around the pod, deflecting the shots. Simultaneously, an electromagnetic pulse from a nearby human ship disabled the war machine's targeting systems. The alien pilot struggled as his systems failed, unable to comprehend the sudden loss of control. On Iridian, whispers spread among citizens and soldiers alike. "Who are they? Why are they not destroying us?" Vithar's voice was sharp. "They are aliens, but not like any we have seen. They are stronger, faster, smarter. Do not underestimate them." Despite the tension, humans maintained order. Drones continued evacuations, warships patrolled the edges of conflict zones, and medical units deployed field hospitals to treat the injured. Citizens who had felt abandoned now realized that someone, somewhere, had heard their cries. As the day progressed, the aliens began to notice a pattern in human behavior. Every action, every intervention was calculated. Humans did not waste energy or resources. They did not panic. They anticipated attacks before they happened and always had contingency plans. Even the most sophisticated alien units were outmatched by this precision. On board the intrepid Dawn, Admiral Celine observed the system's map. "Our presence is now known," she said. "The aliens are beginning to understand our capabilities. Let them see our restraint as well as our strength. This is how humans lead without forcing fear unnecessarily." In orbit, Vithar convened his officers. "We must adapt," he said. "The humans are not attacking yet, but they dominate the field. Our scouts report that every attempt to interfere with the rescues fails. Their technology, their strategy, it is beyond anything we imagined." Meanwhile, on the surface, Nira coordinated with the rescue drones. "Follow my lead," she instructed. "Move quickly to the safe zones marked by the ships." People fled to the landing zones, guided by holographic indicators projected by human drones. Even in chaos, humans brought order. An unexpected incident occurred when a small alien attack squad attempted to ambush a rescue convoy. Humans responded, but not with violence. Tactical energy shields protected the convoy, and drones neutralized obstacles without harming the attackers. The aliens were confused, realizing that resistance alone could not stop these humans. Admiral Celine's voice cut through the comm lines. "Today we show them the strength of humanity, not through destruction but through protection. Every life we save is proof of our capability, intelligence, and honor." By the end of the day, hundreds of civilians had been rescued. Alien attackers, frustrated and disoriented, began to retreat. Even High Commander Vithar, who had always trusted force over strategy, admitted the truth. Humans were extraordinary. Their arrival had not only brought hope to the endangered, but also changed the entire dynamic of the system. Nira stood on the surface, watching a human pod lift a group of children into orbit. They are amazing," she whispered. "I never imagined anyone could help us like this." In the human fleet, Admiral Celine looked out from the bridge of the intrepid Dawn. Stars glittered in the void, and the system below was slowly stabilizing. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. "They will learn what humans can do, not just as warriors but as protectors, innovators, and survivors." Vithar, still in disbelief, realized the scope of what he faced. Humanity was not a simple species. They were not just another civilization to fear. They were an example of resilience, intelligence, and courage. And for the first time he understood that survival would not be easy if humans decided to act. The system of Z92 had witnessed the arrival of Earth's most lethal fleet. It was not the beginning of destruction. It was the dawn of a new understanding. Humans did not just fight. They rescued, they calculated, and they inspired. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. The quiet tension over Z92 shattered like glass when a rogue alien faction decided to test the human strength. From the outer orbital belt, a squadron of sleek dark warships surged forward, weapons charging. They believed the humans were fragile, overconfident, and unprepared for combat. They were wrong. On board the intrepid Dawn, Admiral Celine Vaille's calm voice echoed across the bridge. "All units, this is the first engagement. Defensive protocols only. Avoid civilian casualties. Observe, contain, and neutralize if necessary." Lieutenant Corrin's fingers danced across the console. "Enemy squadron detected. Weapons charged and targeting vectors calculated. Probability of successful engagement 98%. "Good," Celine said. "Prepare for precision strikes." The alien fleet launched its attack, energy beams cutting across the void, seeking to disrupt the human rescue operations. Their weapons were powerful, but their strategy was predictable. Humans, however, were not. Human warships moved with breathtaking coordination. Energy shields activated instantly, absorbing attacks without losing momentum. Countermeasures diverted missiles into empty space. Smaller craft flanked the enemy, striking with non-lethal but disabling pulses. Within minutes, the rogue faction's formation broke apart. In the alien command center, High Commander Vithar's tentacles twitched with frustration. "Impossible," he shouted. "How can they defend without falling back? How can they anticipate every move? They are unreal." On the ground, Nira and the rescued citizens looked up at the streaks of light in the sky. "Are they fighting?" a child asked. "Yes," Nira said softly. "But they are saving us at the same time." The thought filled her with awe. Humans were not just powerful. They were precise, protective, and brave. The first human strike was not about destruction. Autonomous drones disabled the alien ship's propulsion and targeting systems, leaving them floating harmlessly. Human pilots coordinated strikes to avoid collateral damage while forcing the attackers to retreat. Analysis complete, Lieutenant Corrin reported. Enemy systems are incapable of countering our tactics. They underestimate our adaptability. Celine nodded. That is why we fight with intelligence. We do not rely on raw power alone. We adapt, we calculate, we protect. Never forget, humanity's strength is in its mind as much as its fleet. For the aliens, the lesson was harsh and immediate. Several ships tried to escape, only to be trapped in precision grids projected by human vessels. These grids disrupted navigation systems, forcing the attackers into controlled positions. When disabled, the alien ships were either captured or compelled to retreat, their confidence shattered. Vythar's officers scrambled for answers. Commander! Their targeting is too fast. Their shields, their maneuvers. They predict us. Vythar's claws slammed onto the console. They are not just fighting, they are teaching us a lesson. Retreat if we value our lives. Meanwhile, human rescue teams continued their work. Pods descended from orbit, extracting citizens from dangerous areas even as beams of alien fire crisscrossed above. The humans' ability to multitask, combat and rescue simultaneously, amazed the aliens and inspired hope among the survivors. Nira watched a young family being lifted into a human pod. They are incredible, she said. I never imagined anyone could protect us like this. On board the intrepid Dawn, Celine observed the aliens' confusion. Notice how they retreat when confronted with strategy rather than brute force, she said. Humans do not need to destroy everything to win. We win by being smart, fast, and adaptable. The alien attackers attempted another approach, this time from a different vector. They hoped to flank the humans and strike at vulnerable rescue units. However, humans anticipated the move. Small drones intercepted the attackers, disabling their energy weapons without harm to the crews. Larger human ships positioned themselves to block escape routes while keeping rescue operations intact. Vythar's frustration grew. How can they be everywhere at once? How can they protect lives while neutralizing threats? They are beyond imagination. The first engagement ended in record time. Human ships maintained their calm, precise coordination, while the alien attackers were forced to retreat entirely. The Iridian citizens cheered silently as the sky cleared, and the human fleet hovered, still vigilant, still ready to act. Celine addressed her crew. This is what makes humans different. We fight to protect, not just to conquer. Every ship, every drone, every action is a choice. We do not take lives unnecessarily. We save them. On Iridian, whispers of hope spread. Citizens who had feared death now spoke of humans as saviors. Soldiers who had prepared for defeat now wondered if their myths about Earth were incomplete. Humanity was not just another species. It was a force guided by intellect, courage, and honor. Vythar, finally understanding the magnitude of what he faced, called a council meeting. We have underestimated them, he admitted. They are not a threat in the usual sense. They are precise, adaptable, and protective. Every move is calculated. We cannot fight them without understanding them first. For the humans, the first engagement was a lesson in restraint. They had demonstrated superiority without unnecessary destruction, maintained civilian safety, and ensured the aliens understood that Earth's most lethal fleet was both feared and respected. Nira, watching the human ships lift her people to safety, whispered, I hope they stay with us until it's all safe. Celine's eyes scanned the system. Tomorrow we continue. There may be more threats, but the message is clear. Humanity arrives not only to fight, but to protect. We act with honor, intelligence, and efficiency. This is how we show the galaxy that humans are different. This is how we save lives and inspire hope at the same time. As the human fleet held position above Z92, aliens and civilians alike realized the same truth. Earth had arrived, not to conquer, not to intimidate, but to show what a civilization of intelligence, courage, and precision could achieve. And in the quiet, the rogue alien fleet regrouped in the shadows, realizing that when humans fought, they did not just survive, they dominated the battlefield with unmatched skill and an unshakable sense of purpose. For humanity, the first engagement was not about glory. It was about proving a simple truth. Humans fight to protect, to survive, and to inspire. And for the galaxy, it was the first real glimpse of Earth's lethal brilliance. The skies above Z92 had grown calmer. The first engagement had ended, and the rogue alien forces had retreated into the dark stretches of space, uncertain and wary. Below, the citizens of Iridian began to move cautiously, emerging from shelters and collapsed buildings, guided by the glowing markers left by human drones. Hope had returned. On the surface, Nira walked among the rescued citizens, coordinating relief efforts. She marveled at the precision of the humans' operations. Pods descended and lifted people to orbit with exact timing. Field hospitals appeared in minutes, and engineers worked with alien technicians to restore critical infrastructure. Humanity's fleet had not just won battles. They were rebuilding lives. In orbit, Admiral Celine Vare reviewed reports from her crew. "The system is stabilizing," she said. "Most civilians have been evacuated or moved to secure zones. Alien resistance is minimal. We have achieved our objectives without unnecessary conflict." Lieutenant Corrin glanced at the holographic display. "We also detected communications from the local leaders. They want to negotiate. They recognize our capability and perhaps respect it." Celine's lips curved slightly. "Then it is time to begin diplomacy. Humans do not conquer with fear alone. We offer solutions, protection, and guidance. Let them see our strength and wisdom together." A transmission was sent to High Commander Vythar, inviting him and his advisors to discuss the system's future. The message was clear but firm. Humanity would assist, but aggression would not be tolerated. Vythar studied the communication. His tentacles twitched nervously as he processed the words. "They do not threaten us. Yet they demand respect," he said. "We have faced many civilizations, but none like this. Their power is absolute, but their purpose controlled. They do not destroy without reason. They lead differently." On the surface, Nira prepared for the arrival of the human diplomats. Her heart pounded with excitement and fear. Could these beings from another world truly bring stability and protection? Would they leave once the crisis ended, or would their influence reshape the system entirely? Admiral Celine led a small delegation aboard a neutral command vessel. Alongside her were officers trained not only in combat, but also in negotiation, communication, and cultural understanding. They approached Vythar's flagship with caution and respect, projecting a calm but confident presence. High Commander Vythar greeted them with a mixture of suspicion and curiosity. "Earthlings," he said, his voice both formal and cautious. "You arrive with overwhelming power, yet you speak of peace. Explain this contradiction." Celine inclined her head. "We are here to protect and assist, not to dominate. Power without purpose is meaningless. We use our strength to preserve life, to restore order, and to ensure that all parties are treated fairly. That is humanity's way." Vythar's advisors whispered among themselves. "Such a species. Never before seen," one murmured. "They are capable of immense destruction, yet they use it with restraint." Celine continued. "Your system faced danger, and you sent a call for help. We answered. That is our principle. No civilization should face destruction alone. We offer aid, knowledge, and guidance. In return, we expect cooperation and peace." Vythar paused. "And what of the rogue attackers?" he asked. "Do you intend to chase them away?" "Only if necessary," Celine replied. "Our priority is safety and restoration. They must learn that attacking others will have consequences. We will act decisively but with precision, to protect the innocent." The council chamber fell silent. Humans and aliens studied each other, both aware of the delicate balance. Vythar realized that submission to fear was unnecessary. These humans had already demonstrated restraint, intelligence, and fairness. On the surface, Nira watched drones deliver supplies and aid. She had never imagined such technology or organization. Water, food, medical supplies, and energy generators appeared in strategic locations, restoring hope and confidence among the citizens. Humans did not merely intervene. They rebuilt and prepared the system for long-term stability. Vythar's advisors were impressed. "Commander, they offer not just strength but knowledge. They can teach us, help us organize, and even improve our defenses." Vythar nodded slowly. "Indeed, but we must remain cautious. Their assistance is powerful, but they are not here to obey us. They are here to act according to their principles. That is unsettling, yet admirable." Back in orbit, human engineers began sharing technical data with Iridian specialists. They worked side by side, adapting alien technology for better efficiency, and teaching methods to repair infrastructure and restore energy grids. The aliens watched in awe, realizing that humans combined intelligence, courage, and creativity in ways they had never seen. Nira approached a human officer. "How do you know what to do so quickly?" she asked. The officer smiled. "We prepare for the unexpected. We plan, observe, and act. Humans survive by learning faster than our enemies, by thinking faster than our fears. That is why we are here, able to save lives even in the most dangerous situations." Meanwhile, in the shadow of the system, the rogue alien attackers hesitated. Their previous encounter with the humans had taught them a harsh lesson. Aggression against this species was futile. They began to retreat further, uncertain of how to confront humans again. Celine observed the scanners. "They are learning quickly. Our presence has already changed the balance of power. The system now knows that humanity does not negotiate from weakness nor destroy from arrogance. We lead with intellect, strategy, and honor." Vithar, facing the human delegation, finally admitted his realization. "You have shown us what it means to be strong and fair. The galaxy will take notice. Your power is undeniable, but your restraint, that is what makes you truly remarkable." Celine nodded. "We act for the greater good, not for recognition. But you will remember today. You will know that when Earth responds, the outcome favors life, order, and justice." On Iridian, citizens began returning to work, repairing homes and buildings. Children played cautiously, their laughter echoing in streets that had once been silent with fear. Nira, standing among them, felt a new sense of hope. Humanity had arrived and left not just safety but inspiration. In orbit, Selene surveyed the fleet. "Mission is near completion. Continue observation. Continue support. Ensure stability. And if the attackers return, remind them why humans are unmatched." Vithar's fleet, once confident and proud, now moved with humility. They had witnessed a species that combined lethal capability with moral clarity. They had seen humans not only fight but lead with intelligence, protect with precision, and inspire without domination. For the first time, the Iridian system knew that Earth's fleet was more than ships and weapons. It was a force of strategy, courage, and integrity. And for the humans, the mission was a testament to their core principle. Strength is best shown through protection, knowledge, and leadership. As the human fleet prepared to withdraw partially to allow local forces to rebuild, Celine addressed her crew. "Today we proved that humans lead not just by force but by example. Civilization can survive with our guidance, hope can flourish with our presence, and the galaxy can witness what humanity is capable of." Below, Nira looked up at the fleet departing slowly toward higher orbit. "I hope they remember us," she said. "I hope they know we will never forget them." Celine's voice, calm and resolute, carried across the comm lines. "Earth will always answer the call. We fight for life, for justice, and for hope, and the galaxy will remember that." The stars of Z912 shimmered in a new light, brighter now with hope, order, and the unmistakable mark of humanity.